host, Dr. Chief the Sunflower. I'm back with another quick live because I have a busy day and I didn't want to miss checking in with the tribe. OCO to all my Niji. We finna dive right in. Like I said, I gotta get this all the way out. A lot of people been wondering about reparations, and I see I saw a pastor walking this morning 40 miles. He said he was doing it for reparations and to bring awareness because none of the atrocious acts since the 1600s have been appropriated. Okay, have been fixed. And I'm going to tell y'all why, because I had a real big epiphany. I was never the one to think that reparations were coming for the true American Indian. If you Native American, then that's something different. You basically, you sucking on the government bosom. We'll say it like that. But before we get to talking, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and smash that like button. Make sure you go ahead and tap those hearts because it's so free to get this information. The Hood to Hooded podcast works by people who support this for free in the beginning, and we appreciate the people who support in other ways. But definitely share, like, and subscribe. And we finna just finna dive in. Okay, y'all ready?
Dr. Sean. Yeah. Dr. Sean is always live. Come hang with the tribe. Good vibes. Yeah, we rise every time. Positive energy. Grow every day. We make a way. Yeah, we make a way. That's right. Say it again. True, telling our story, and it's a proof
that history talking,
wisdom revived.
Out of here, man.
This ain't just a lie, this is life. Yes, Lord, I feel that. Talk to him all the way live, all the way live. Hang with the tribe, hang with the tribe. Hood to hood, hood to hood. We survive, yeah. Cause it's all the way live, hang with the tribe. Hood to hood, we survive, bitch.
Fuck out of here, man.
We rise, try, yeah.
Keep it going on stop, y'all. Keep it going on stop. I'm loving the energy that I'm seeing. Keep it going. Don't stop, my Niji. We breaking the codes. I am loving all of the new information I am just seeing on my timeline. But baby, listen, the reparations ain't coming. Y'all want to know why the reparations ain't coming? Check out your screen. Check out your screen. Check out your screen. You got stuff like this going through Congress while we around here protesting. We around here on the internet. These people really writing letters and claiming to be us. They trying to get acts passed. They trying to get that federal fund. They want to suck on the government bosom. Look out of here, man. So I know I'm talking a lot of junk right now because this I don't know, y'all. They want to suck on the government bosom. But we finna get into this. This is just going to be a little quick study group with the tribe. I'm not going to even hold y'all that long. I just got something really specific to inform y'all about. So a lot of people have been, for years and decades, where's the reparations? Where's the reparations? Where's the reparations? You think you're going to get reparations from a government that was started by war, that was formed from war, where all of the presidents, well, not all of them, I would say about 23% of them enslaved people. They even paid the slave owners reparations in D.C. in 1960. Was it 3? Yeah, guys, before they They said everyone is free. DC was one of the first places to say, okay, we're not going to enslave the people, but we're going to give reparations to the slave owners. So they paid the reparations to the slave owners back in the 1800s. Did y'all know that? Look up the DC reparation. No. Let me give you the right name of it. It's called the DC Emancipation Act. Yeah, guys. You think reparations coming? You think this government wanted to give you a reparation? They would have been did that. Your reparations was a little bit of food stamps and the projects. They took you off your sacred land and put you in where? The projects. Your reparations is inequality. That's the reparations. Ain't no reparations coming, guys. And this, what I discovered here, I'm going to tell y'all how I got on and how I found this document from Congress, because you know I'm always being fucking nosy. Y'all don't want us to read, but guess what? I love reading. So I was going to do some research on a clown called Walter Plecker, because he's the one who was responsible for reclassifying melanated people who look like me from Indian to Negro. Even though it was already classified as Negro in history, the Negro Indians, the Black Indians, they want to chop the Indian part off. Give that to some Asians. Give that to some Siberians, Mongolians. Allow them to go through Alaska with their senators in Alaska and then push shit through to DC and try to get federal funding. Now, I hear federal funding. I hear people talking about we missing our benefits, we missing this, we missing that. But it's always something that's going to tie the puzzle together. And this shit really tied it together for me. It kind of like, what? I'm happy my ancestors did not sell us out. I'm happy they didn't say, yeah, we'll go to the reservations and follow your lead and suck on the government bosom so y'all can control us even more. I'm going to tell y'all, this is, okay, I can't even talk too extra. We just got to get to the facts right now. So what I'm showing you now is called the Lumbee Fairness Act. Okay, it's the Lumbee Fairness Act, and we are going to go through some specific pages of this Lumbee Fairness Act. But before we get into that, guys, just know that the District of Columbia Compensated Emancipation Act is one of the most important, write it down, and rarely discussed laws in the Civil War era. Rarely discussed. And you gonna want to know why, because everybody like, where's our reparations? Where's it gonna pay us? You know, when are they gonna pay us? They're not paying you because you're identifying as African American and you're identifying with enslavement instead of Indian. And they don't want you to do that because they banned you from doing that. Now, after they released the enslaved people in DC, because DC was one of the first people, one of the first places in the South, they was like, hell no, we want to keep them working and laboring for free. We getting rich, we becoming billionaires. What we want to release these people for? We get to control them. We did this war for nothing if we let them go. But our people, Seminole Wars, all these different wars, fought them because you not finna treat us like that, bitch, on our own land. So that's how that happened. It ain't like they just said, well, we're gonna be nice. No, they was at war and they was losing. So they said, you know, we're going to make some treaties, we're going to make some paperwork, and then they lied. I'm going to tell y'all what they did now. We're going to dig deeper. I got to mindful of my time because I got to get off here soon. So, April 16, 1862, you know, they passed the District of Columbia Compensated Emancipation Act, and it freed enslaved people in Washington, D.C. in 1862, right? This was months before the broader Emancipation Proclamation. What was this DC Emancipation? What was this DC Emancipation Act, you ask? And I could pull it up on the screen, but I don't got time. I'll come back and add it to my YouTube. So make sure y'all follow on YouTube, because when I go back through these lives, I do put more details in the, the actual video that's not live. All right, I can't do it right now because it's just gonna throw me off. So this was signed by Abraham Lincoln, 1862. It freed 3,100 enslaved people in the capital, the District of Columbia. The capital. 31 enslaved people. Y'all got working, building the White House, doing all this stuff. Why y'all ain't get the Native Americans to do shit? They around here talking about a Fairness Act. Why y'all ain't get them to do shit? Why they never invented nothing? Why they not doing nothing but sitting on the internet talking about we federal recognized? I'm gonna get into that. Federal recognized shit. I'm gonna get into that. So what happened when Abraham did the DC Emancipation Act? It ended slavery in DC. It released 3,100 enslaved people. And guess what, guys? Go look this shit up for yourself. The slave owners were paid compensation. Yeah, the federal government gave reparations to the slaveholders. I bet y'all didn't know that. I guess that's why this is something that is rarely talked about. Some of them things that they just want to, what they call it, sweep under the rug. Fuck out of here, man. This pissed me off, man. The federal government paid loyal Union slaveholders, at this time it was a lot of money, up to $300 per enslaved person that they released. They paid them reparations to release them. Instead of paying the people who've been working for on your stolen land, on their own land for free, you paid the slave owners? Fuck out of here, man. Think about that structure carefully. The enslaved people received so-called freedom, but it really wasn't freedom. They just reworded it and said, okay, well, we can't enslave you unless you do a crime. And then they made slave codes, meaning anything could be a crime when you're melanated. Melanin was a crime. So they say, no, you're free, but if you got melanin, you're not free, basically. The enslavers received money. This is why they call it the compensated emancipation. Now, they tried to do this all over with anybody who had slaves. The government was saying, hey, if you release these people, we're gonna give you reparations. Not the people. They was never gonna give you no reparations. Okay? Do y'all understand that part? Then they went to the South. They said, we want to put this all over the South. It was like, hell no. You know, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, these places was like, hell no. We are brutal as hell, and we ain't doing that. They're going to forever be slaves if it's up to us. They're going to forever work for free, and we're going to forever steal their land and use papal bulls and eminent domain and intercatera and all of the directions from these white Christian prince from the Vatican to unalive these people because, you know, God told us that we was better than them. God told us that they better as our slave. And then they had the psychologists, they had the doctors saying, wait, y'all don't want to be slaves? That's a mental health disorder. Fucking liars, man. That ain't even the juicy part, y'all. That ain't even the juicy part. Now, I'm going to come back to this emancipation, this reparations for the slave holders in D.C. a little bit later. Right? We're going to come back to that because that ain't even what I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to touch on that. So we touched on that. We touched on this pastor recently going into the streets in, I think it's North Carolina, South Carolina. He walked from Durham to Raleigh. I don't know. He walked 40 miles and he was like, where's our reparations? Even the pastor's coming out like, hey, y'all ain't never, this something ain't right. You know, I'm not a Christian because Christopher Columbus made me not a Christian because you ain't finna talk about me like that. And I'm easy and they're going to be easy to, no. So the reason why I'm bringing all of this up is because of this thing right here that I found. So when I went to do more research on Walter Plecker, I wanted to know who the fuck this creep was, why he felt, and when I started doing the research on Walter Plecker, I figured out that he was in love with Hitler. Yeah, Walter Plecker was a fan of Hitler. So when he was in charge of the birth certificates and all of this stuff, he was bent on making these indigenous melanated, what they call them, Negro Indian, black Indian, just black. He was bent on making them still suffer at the hands of the colonizer, right? So I went to my favorite place, the Library of Congress, where I get all of my shit from, right from the government, right? And I was putting in Walter Plecker. This popped up. It's a reason why this popped up. Now, most people be like, what is this? This is not what I'm looking for. I don't want to read that. But I'm like, the Lumbee Fairness Act, Senate Indian Affairs, last year, November the 5th, 2025. Guys, this was just a couple months ago. So if you out there, you trying to fight for your rights, you're on this internet every day, you talking, this is what they're doing. They going to DC writing acts. They got witnesses. And I'm going to tell you what the shit they using trying to say that they're American Indian. And I'm going to tell you what the benefits that they get when they say they're American Indian. It's going to shock you. It's going to blow your socks off. And I hope I got enough time to finish. I'm going to tell y'all, right? So, the Lumbee Fairness Act. Let's dig into it. Let's dig into it. Let me pull up my other notes. Let's dig into it. The Lumbee Fairness Act. So if you watch it on TikTok, I think I like kind of highlighted it for you as we read. So let me pull it up real quick for you guys. First, we're going to start on, is it this page? I think we're going to start on this page. Let's start on this page. Is this the right page? Oh, no, hold on. This page. Come on, TikTok. TikTok is loading. And why I want it load? Come on now. See what I'm saying? It don't want to load, but we're going to load today because I got to tell y'all this. I have to tell y'all this. Please load. Even if it don't load, I'm still finna tell y'all what the hell it's saying. So, when you go deeper into this file, it's just a lot of stuff. You see, they got Congress people who work for the Native Americans going to D.C., but they do it through Alaska. That's what I discovered. They do all this shit. They go to the senator in Alaska, the Alaska person, you know, the pretending they take it to D.C. and then they try to get their stuff passed. We talking about the Lumbee tribe today. Come on, guys. Why this thing ain't downloading? Syncing picture from iCloud. The fuck is you? Come on. Pull the picture up. Even if it don't pull the picture up, I'm still going to tell y'all what it say. Right? The Lumbee Fairness Act. I can't get it to work. This is the first why it won't work. I don't know why it's not working. We're just going to go back to this picture. But I'm going to read y'all what it says while it's loading. Okay? So, this act, I'm going down deeper. If you want to go and pull it up, you can go and pull it up yourself. But in this act, it is saying, this is what it says. Do I want to start here? I don't think I want to start there. Man, where's my first page at, guys? I hate when this happens. Okay, here we go. It says, the right to engage in gaming, enacting legislation like this, only arms those who seek to erode sovereign rights with evidence that some groups possessing such rights were haphazardly afforded them. Uh-oh, y'all can't hear me. My phone ringing. Only haphazardly afforded them now let's go a little bit deeper. Okay, this is so basically what I'm trying to show y'all is how this Lumbee tribe, they have been trying to get federally recognized for 120 years. They still not federally recognized. There's only 60,000 members in the Lumbee tribe. Now, I compared that to the so-called African Americans who, if were really classified in their right identity, self-classified as American Indian versus banned from calling themselves American Indian, there is how many, I forgot how many African Americans, is it 40 million? Either way, even if it was 1 million, when I tell y'all what's in this document, it's going to make sense on why you're never getting a reparation. It's going to make sense. And this picture won't load. I don't know why it's not loading. It says syncing. So obviously, and I highlighted everything for y'all to see, so that's strange. So I'm just going to let it try to sync. We're going to let it try to sync, but we're going to move on because I only got 20 minutes. But what I need to say ain't going to take 20 minutes. So in this document, the so-called pretendians were going and pleading their cases. They were like, oh, well, our ancestors got genealogy from the 1900s. And they was like, they went to the Carlisle Indian School. You can see it on the document. I wish this thing would pop up. I'm gonna come back and show y'all once it load. But this is what this says. After they was talking about they went to the Carlisle Indian School and they deserve to be paid because their ancestors went to war and all of this bullshit. They said the impact on Lumbee recognition on appropriations of other Indian tribes. This is the government responding to them in this document now when they was like, y'all don't qualify. They told the Lumbee tribe, you don't qualify. Now, the reason why they don't qualify is going to shock you, which is why I know the African Americans, a.k.a. the true Amerindians, a.k.a. the American Indians, a.k.a. the inhabitants, the indigenous, whatever you want to call it, the people who was here first that got melanin, right? Those people, you, right? So it says, the government responded to him now. It says, I'm skipping a lot of shit, by the way. The impact of Lumbee recognition on appropriations to other Indian tribes. So, what they're saying is, what would be the impact if we recognize the Lumbee tribe, the 60,000 people? I didn't say 40 million. I didn't even say 1 million. They just saying, hey, we 60,000 deep. We've been trying to get this recognition for 120 years, and the government have denying us. Why? The government said, I'm going to read it slow because I know some people don't really understand what the fuck they talking about. The impact of Lumbee recognition. So this is the Lumbee Fairness Act. Let's just go to the front page. I don't know why that ain't pulling up. That is so strange. TikTok. Yeah, we just going to keep it here so y'all know at least what I'm talking about. It says, I keep starting over for a reason. The impact of the Lumbee recognition on appropriations to other Indian tribes would be unprecedented in the history of federal acknowledgement. Do y'all understand what that means? Those big words now. It said, if we recognize them and appropriate funds to them, it will be unprecedented damage to the current tribes we got on federal acknowledgement. What does that mean? It's accounting for the above identified flaws with the previous CBO cost estimate. The Eastern Band estimates the cost of Lumbee recognition. Man, I wish y'all could see this shit, man. It says, this is the part that got me. I was like, what the hell I just stumbled upon? My time running out. Damn. It says, this is why y'all not getting reparations, guys. It's too many of us. This is why they gotta ban you from finding out who you are. They gotta ban TikTok. They gotta ban everything. They gotta start a war. Even a war cheaper than giving you reparations. Even a war is cheaper than these people finding out who they are. If they find out who they are, we are done. We cook. We stew. We are stew, baby. They know they stew. They stew or not. I'm still trying to load the picture. It's still not loading. It says, I'm just shocked by what I'm reading. That's why I keep saying it over and over and over again so y'all get it. It ain't coming. It ain't coming. Pastor, the one that I seen this morning when I was on Google and he was walking 40 miles to signify, okay, 40 acres in a mute. It ain't coming. It ain't coming. It ain't coming. They can't even pay the pretendians. That should tell you something. It's too many of us indigenous people. Fuck out of here. That's what they say. Oh, we brought millions of them from Africa. You know you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Okay, I'm going to read it without stopping this time. All right. It says, the Eastern Band estimates the cost of Lumbee recognition to be in the billions of dollars. According to this bill, will have a huge negative impact on the budgets of the Bureau of Indian Affairs and the Indian Health Services, and would decrease even further the sorely needed funds Indian people receive as a result of treaties and trust obligations of the United States to Indians and tribes. The committee in Congress should not support this legislation for emotional or political reasons, particularly without being absolutely certain that this group constitutes a recognizable Indian tribe in accordance with the objective criteria of the OFA, which it cannot. It says, if this committee and Congress choose to pass this legislation, the consequences will be dramatic for existing federal recognized tribes. Say what now? First and foremost, politics will have won and decided victory over sound policy. You know, when they was writing policy, we was enslaved. They was writing policy for us because they was at war, right? The War Department became the Indian Department. The War Department became the Department of the Interior. The War Department was the government, how it started. Look up the War Department. So they erased the War Department and made it the Department of Defense. So when you see Trump putting all this millions and billions into the Department of Defense, it's really the War Department. It's to prevent people from rebelling. But that ain't the point of this live. It's just to show you that the Lumbee tribe feel like they put in a Lumbee Fairness Act that said that they the Indians. And they not getting recognized. And then the government said, well, if we recognize you, it's going to fuck it up for the other pretendians who getting paid from us. Because we don't have enough even for them. Because we don't have enough melanated people going to work and paying taxes. We don't have enough people paying taxes to pay these Indians. So we sitting here working on our own land, paying taxes to pretendians who the government can't afford to pay. But we going to work every day while they getting benefits. And I'm going to tell you the benefits. Because this is what got me pissed off even more. And I got to go. I got to hurry up. I can't even get through the whole pages. Because there's more that I want to talk about. So let's kind of go faster. It said policy will have won. And then they said, let me go. Let me go. This guy, he said, my name is Ben Barnes, chief of the Shawnee tribe and chair of the United Indians Nation of Oklahoma, serving the 38 federal recognized tribes in Oklahoma. I also serve on the chair of the National Native American Boarding School Healing Coalition. It said, let me begin with a truth that our elders teach us. Sovereignty is the inheritance of tribal survival, not the reward for claiming it. Our nations exist because our ancestors endured forced removal, warfare, termination policies, and boarding school systems. It said federal recognition does not make a tribe. It acknowledges the people who never cease to exist. Y'all lying, man. Y'all lying, bro. When the United States forced my people from Ohio through Kentucky and Missouri to Kansas and finally to Oklahoma, we did not reinvent ourselves at each river we came to. We remained Shawnee. We carried our ceremonies. We kept our language alive in whispers. The government lived in the hearts of the people, even when the United States wished it was vanished. Y'all wish it was vanished, but not because of y'all. They wish it were vanished because they don't want this melanated millions of people to realize they're the true Indians and the whole world owed us. The whole world has ate off our fucking back, right? He said, nationhood is not a label to be chosen, but an identity carried through generations of removal, loss, and resistance. Now, that ain't even it. That ain't even it. Then it says, I gotta hurry up, so I'm gonna go to the juicy part. I'm just gonna skip this, come back to it later. It says, the research did not attempt to define who the Lumbee tribe are. It asked a simple question. Can the Lumbee tribe's tribal claim be verified by historical and genealogical evidence? The resounding answer was no, is what they said. The expert found no demonstrated descent from a historical tribe nation, no continuous tribal government before the mid-20th century, no ancestral indigenous language community, and census records showing ancestors identified as free person under British and American law, but never as a tribal policy. The findings do not come from emotion or politics. They come from archives, documents, and history. Now, we on the internet giving all this documents, history, to TikTok, to Facebook. We got to be going to the government and trying to sue them, I guess, for fraud, I guess. I survived my root canal last Tuesday. The dentist put on gloves and used the drill and gave my tooth a raincoat. It was a time to remember. Nah, I never heard the rubber dam called the raincoat. That is fun. He said the dentist... Well, at least he followed the protocol and used the raincoat, because the raincoat is a rubber dam. That is funny, Zach. All right, so this is what it says. This is the crazy part, because a lot of people always talk about Carlisle Indian School. They use this to try to claim that they're indigenous, right? It says, Now I must speak from a sacred place, the place where grief and memory live in our communities. Really? Really? Grief and that still live in our communities. We still being hunted by the slave raiders and the slave patrols, aka the police, aka the state patrol, aka whoever you want to rename them to, right? Because the War Department became the Department of the Interior. The War Department became the Defense Department, and that turned into the Army, the military, and all the other departments. But it all started with the War Department. This government started in, 1789. The War Department started 1789. The census record started 1790. It goes to show you who the real Niji are. The Native Americans didn't get no census papers until the 1900s. But we got our stuff when the government started. Stop fucking playing with us, guys. My genealogy records are older than the government. And you trying to tell me my family is not indigenous? Fuck out of here, man. It said the Lumbee have invoked boarding school history to claim indigeneity. But the record tells another story. 9 individuals now held up in Lumbee narratives attempted to enroll at the Carlisle Indian Industrial School. Carlisle rejected them because they did not meet federal definition of an Indian. And what they telling the Lumbee tribe. In this paper just last year now. But you got to realize they're telling them this for 2 reasons. Because number one, they can't afford to put no more federal tribes because it's not enough of us working to pay these people. Get them all their benefits that they're getting for us going to work, right? And number 2, they not really Indians, and they know that. So they like, listen, man, go sit down. You're not a real Indian, right? Now, let's keep going on. And then I'm going to end this in like 5 minutes because I got to go. It says, tribes and waste of taxpayer money. Because you paying for these tribes. The real Indians going to work and paying for the tribes. It said Congress has been egregiously misled regarding the cost of Lumbee recognition. The most recent cost estimate prepared by the Congressional Budget Office, I guess that's the CBO. They're the ones who calculate how much they have to pay these Indian tribes when they figure out, hey, you've been lying, or these pretendians. It said they prepared a estimate of how much it's going to cost the taxpayers to make this tribe federal recognized now. It said the estimate cost of HR 2758, $116 million, or 28% lower than the estimated Bureau of Indian Affairs cost previously prepared, which was $160 million. So they're talking about millions of dollars that they would have to pay these people because they went through war. Then we go through war because they went through being forced to go to school. That's the same thing. We was forced to go to school. We didn't go to school before, like, not to their school. So, okay. Now, before I wrap it up, y'all kind of got the history. No. I think I got one more thing to talk about in this thing right here. I got one more thing. One more thing. Because this shit pissed me off right here. What I just read, the next thing I'm finna read, I don't know if it's going to piss y'all off the same too, but it pissed me off. It said, okay. Regardless, it was just saying, like, with federal recognition, you get certain things. You get certain things. And I'm going to go over the things that, what the hell going on? That they get when they get federally recognized. It says when your tribe becomes federal recognized, you and your tribe must gain formal government to government relationship. So these pretendians really are another form of government that's working with the government to steal money from the taxpayers. Okay? So tribal sovereignty is formally acknowledged when your tribe is treated as a self-governing political entity with inherent powers over internal affairs, memberships, all of that. It said if you are federal recognized, this means you have a direct government-to-government relationship with the United States. Meaning your tribal government deals directly with the federal agencies and can negotiate compacts, consultations, and agreements. And it says eligibility to be listed on federal recognized tribe lists, which is a gateway status for most tribe supported programs and protections. It said when you become a federal government recognized tribe, which is why the Lumbee tribe wanted to be federal recognized, they said we want to take advantage of the tax breaks. We want to have all the money. We want to have some land. We want to be giving all this stuff for free. So then it says, when you become federal recognized, you get land trust status and jurisdiction. The federal government, through the Interior, remember that the War Department was, the War Department, which is how the government really formed, they are a war government, it was changed to the Department of the Interior and the Bureau of Indian Affairs. So they went to war, stole the land, and they said, hey, we need the Department of the Interior so they can start to control the Indians without it being, showing that it was all from war, or them unaliving us with slave codes and all of this. Where are the Native American codes? Where y'all at? Y'all never showing up for war, but you showing up for benefits? Fuck out of here, man. It says the federal government, through the Interior, Department of Interior, and the Bureau of Indian Affairs, can take land into trust for your tribe. Creating or expanding a reservation or land trust base, trust land usually has special tax and regulatory statuses. So when you become federal recognized, they take land that they stole and put it in a trust for the tribe. So you don't even own the land. You just suck it on the government nipple. The tribal government gains stronger authority over land use, natural resources, and environmental regulations on tribal lands, often alongside and instead of state authority in some areas. It says the U.S. has legal obligations to protect tribal lands, assets, and certain rights, and to manage resources for the tribe's benefit. So you mean to tell me the government is still managing your resources? They're still managing your land. They're still they're still telling you what to do. Okay? You're not sovereign if the government telling you what the fuck to do. Okay? Then it go into say they get eligibility for Bureau of Indian Affairs funding and services. So this is why the Lumbee tribe say, hey, we want to be treated fair, right? Because y'all ain't giving us the money for unaliving our so-called people and us going to the war. Seminole War, y'all know who live in the Seminole area. In Tallahassee, that area was 99.9% melanated people, and it still is mostly melanated people. So where the Native Americans at? Y'all wasn't in the Seminole War, but y'all getting the Seminole War money. Talking about y'all was at war. Where? I thought you was at the Indian school in the 1900s. This war was in the 1800s. Where the fuck was y'all at? Okay, what was you? Or was you fighting us? Because it wasn't you. You see what I'm saying? Lying, acting like your people was dying when it wasn't even you. I got to get off of here. But let me just finish by telling y'all some of the benefits that they get. They get all kind of benefits. Eligibility for Bureau of Indian Affairs funding and services that support tribal government operations. They get money for law enforcement. They don't even be under this law. With these people out here policing us and putting us in prison, that's just to help pay the Indians. Let me get it right. That's just to help to pay the Pretendians. Okay? The Mongolians, not the people who was originally here. We don't need no more evidence. All the evidence show us here, bitch. Like, stop it. It says they get money for courts, social services, natural resources, and much more. They get access to all the health care. They get access to Indian health services and related federal health programs, which can fund clinics, hospitals, behavioral health, public health, and initiatives for tribal members. Meanwhile, they trying to give us only 2 dental schools. They don't want to give us nothing. You wonder why? Because they're giving it all to these Pretendians. These Pretendians milking the government dry. It said they get economic and regulatory opportunities. Y'all always wonder what federal benefits they get. I'm still going down the list. The list is long, bro. The list is long, bro. It's embarrassing, bro. It's embarrassing, man. This shit made me cry because I'm indigenous, but I got to pay $500,000 just to be a doctor. Meanwhile, these people get to go to school for free. They get to go to work for free. Meanwhile, my ancestors got the records, but they banned the records, bro. Are you serious? Stronger legal footing for tribal enterprises, tourism, agriculture, energy, access to business-oriented tribal grants and loans. I got a whole business. I ain't getting no grants, no loans. I'm a whole dentist. Got to pay loans. Got to do all of this. Got to go through fucking bullshit just to get to this part. Just to be hood to hooded. I got to claim hood to hooded. But they just walk up and, hey, government, you owe us because we kept your secret. That's why they can't pay millions of us. Are you crazy? They already said 60,000 Lumbee gonna break them. That's gonna take away from the people who already getting this government funding. We can't even do that because it's going to take away from the people who already we all paying. Come on, man. What else they getting, y'all? It says stronger legal footing for tribal enterprises. I already read that part right there. In some cases, recognition is a prerequisite to exercise certain gaming and regulatory powers under federal law. I need somebody to look into this. I'm going to dig into it, but somebody to write this down. Go dig into this, like the Indian Gaming Regulatory Act. What is that? I ain't even had time to go into that. The Indian Gaming Regulatory Act. Depending on state law and federal approvals. I ain't done with the list. They get ability to form tribal corporations and cooperatives under federal and tribal law to manage resources and enterprises for to collect the benefit of tribal members. What else they get, guys? We didn't even get to the good part yet. What else they get? Why are these people fighting? Tell the government we owe this because y'all went to war with us and all this shit. You owe us this. And the government said, we ain't giving you shit. We can't afford to. Meanwhile, black people talking about reparations. They can't afford to, bro. If they gave us reparations, they would be... What would the number be? Trillions of dollars, maybe? Fuck out of here, man. It's cheaper for them to go to war and start drama. To keep you occupied with some voting. It's cheaper to block TikTok. It's cheaper to pay billions of dollars to block TikTok than to have these melanated true Indians wake up and realize who the fuck they are. Because if they do, it's a wrap. What happens? Because you can't pay us. You can't pay us. And we don't want no damn cotton from our own land. You can't pay us that back. What do you do, government? It said they get increased access to tribal specific health education, housing, social services that flow from federal funding. Your taxes. Yeah, taxes getting high, this getting high. They trying to pay these tribes, boy. These people don't have to do nothing. They didn't have to go to fight. They didn't have to do nothing but say they went to the Carlisle Indian School. What? They get social services that flow directly from the federal funding to the tribe or directly to the members or on or near their tribal lands. What else do they get? Guys, you thought I was done, boy? What else they get, guys? What else they get? They get individual tribal member benefits. Now check this out. Increased access. So you getting denied access. They taking people off of housing. They kicking you off. They making all these time limits. They don't do that for these Native Americans. They don't do that for these Pretendians. They don't give them no time limit. They just let them get the money forever. If you federal recognized, which they not recognizing no more federal people right now because they can't afford to. It would bankrupt them. They already bankrupt in the spirit. They can't afford it, so they gotta be evil. That's the only way they can ever win. That's how they started. It's how it ends. It's with war. The war never ended. The names just changed, guys. The United States government first government name was War Department. It should tell you something. Who was they at war and unaliving and making all the codes for and doing all this for? Researching with the census? Us. Who? It wasn't the Native Americans, was it? None of the evidence show that. All of the evidence show us. What else were they getting, guys? We already said health, education, increased access, not decrease, housing, social services, and they get continued eligibility. It says they get continued eligibility just like any other. It said just like any U.S. citizen, they get regular and federal state programs for TANF, SNAP, SSI, LHEAP, etc. With some programs have provisions and set aside for specifically for Native Americans. It said they get stronger legal protection for cultural, religious, and treaty-based rights, which includes protection for sacred sites, access to resources, recognition of tribal citizenship, and status in the federal law. Now, all of that was the benefits. So they're getting hella money. You probably get 300 food stamps. They probably get 10,000. They're getting hella money. They're getting housing. They're getting all of this stuff. They getting everything. Now my question is, why would the War Department turn around and give y'all all of this when they actually setting rules and slave codes and locking people up? And if y'all the real people, when did that happen? When did this happen? And when I thought about it, I said, you know what, guys? I'm so happy my ancestors didn't sell us out, because what I read was that the ancestors was way ahead of their time. Because we the one invented the phone, the internet, all of this shit that you use, the GPS. We did this shit. The Native Americans didn't do shit. You been here for, let me ask you this question, and I gotta go. If y'all been here so damn long, why y'all only could come up with a teepee? You didn't do no pyramids. You didn't do no mounds. You just did a TP. Fuck out of here, man. You gonna never be on our level, bro. Never. Ever. And the last thing I'm gonna say, y'all see me sitting here as this dentist, big chief, this doctor, chief, this some thought this shit wasn't easy. Ain't getting no fucking government handout. None of it. All came from just the brain. And Frederick Douglass, when he was born into enslavement and he was on that plantation and he learned his alphabet at 12 years old, when he learned that knowledge makes you unfit to be a slave, this knowledge that we getting make you unfit to be a motherfucking slave. Fuck out my face. They try to make me a slave. They say, oh, you gonna be a stereotype. Oh, you came from poverty. Oh, you came from the projects. Bitch, fuck out of here, man. I don't stop shit. I came from my ancestors, bitch. I gotta go. I can't be talking like this in my white coat. I gotta go. What happened?
I'm on the phone. I'm trying to get. I ain't got my shoes on.
She here?
Yeah, she at the,
Oh, hold on. I'm live, though.
Yeah, she at the front door.
Okay, I'm coming. So, I gotta go. I ain't even done with this topic. Y'all come back. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe, because I am just getting started with this topic. It just couldn't wait. After I saw the pastor online walking 40 miles to my reparations, guess what? It is not coming. That's it. It's not coming. I'll holler at y'all later. Thank you for the hearts. It's not coming. Facts. Check in 6075. Save your live and make video clips. Definitely. I do save my lives and I try to do the clip thing, but I go live every day. I really need a clipper. If I could have somebody just like clip for me, it'd be so easy, so much easier for me, because I try to clip and the clips be good, but it just takes so much time. You know what I mean? I got patience. I don't know. No excuses, but all I'm saying is I will clip most of this, but I'm going to come back with this so I can get it to pop up on the screen so you guys can see it on TikTok. I'm going to actually do it like a real lecture. I feel like it deserves that much, because this is some bullshit, man. This is some straight up bullshit, man. Okay, I gotta go. Bye, y'all. Bye.
Need you back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know we on that ass. Yeah, the need you back. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know we all blessed. The pyramid standing tall, yeah, fact. Turtle Island strong, yeah, fact. Say it loud, say it back. The need you back. History live, tried to erase us. Pages ripped, but they could never debate us. 'Cause when we go back